Plickers is awesome. It's a simple tool that collects real-time formative assessment data. I have enjoyed using it in my classroom, and so have my students. They are actively engaged, and they're seeing real-time data instantly, which gives them that feedback right away, and for me as well. One of the things that I love is that it's cross-curricular, so teachers can use it in a variety of different subject areas. So you could use it for math, reading, science, social studies. And if you teach different sections, you can create different libraries of questions. So depending on the different courses that you teach, you can have different questions for each course. Even a teacher who teaches physical education class can assess their students by using Plickers after their lesson. They could ask, what was today's lesson about? Was it about dribbling, shooting, kicking, etc.? So it can be used in different classrooms, which I think is neat too. As a teacher, one of my favorite things is being able to look at the data after and click under reports, and they're printable as well. So I can bring them home at night and analyze the data. And I can see live how they're doing as well, but I can go home at night and say, okay, my students really had a hard time with question B. I need to look at how I taught it, maybe reteach it a different way, and basically it drives your instruction because you can make the changes and help prepare your students better. So those are a lot of the pros. And also, like, even with scanning the cards, it only takes about 1 to 2 seconds to scan a whole classroom of 25 to 30 kids. So I thought that was neat as well. It's very easy to set up, quick to scan, instant feedback. I love it, and I'm so glad I heard about it, and it's free. When we started using Plickers in the classroom, the students were so excited. When I posted the first question and they could see it live on the screen, they had a hard time sitting in their seats actually at first, but it was excitement. It's good excitement. They were engaged. So what they like seeing is there's a couple different settings. You can have it where it doesn't reveal the answer right away. And then obviously once they answer the question, you can click to reveal answer. And when they see their answer up there, if you choose that option, or you can hide it, when they see that feedback, they're so excited. And the thing that they like about it is it's not another paper pencil assessment in front of them. And they just love it. They love to see the graph. They love to see the comparison of how they answered in comparison to their peers. And if you're a teacher who doesn't want to show that data of how they did individually, you do not have to show that. You can just show the bar graph. And what I like to do is show the bar graph first so that you can see who chose a certain question more than another one. And then you can go over the question and talk about it and discuss it before showing the real answer. Then students are understanding and comprehending a little bit better and more prepared.
I like the part when it would show you how many students chose an answer, and then it would show up if it was right or wrong. Because the answers would be green and some of them would be red.
I like the part when it tells you if you're right or wrong.
I liked it when we got to see what the questions were and answer them.
When the teacher would take it and scan it, because sometimes when someone turned it, it would be the wrong side, but still everyone still got to try.
I liked when we got to scan the cards, and it said if it was right or wrong.
You like that you saw that you were right or wrong right away?
Just
Awesome.
like me.
That immediate feedback, that's good. One of the things that I noticed when you are using the cards is that they can become worn out very quickly. So one of the things that would be good to do is run them on cardstock when you print them out. You do get a class set of 40, and so printing them on cardstock will help them to last a little bit longer. Laminating I wouldn't recommend, just because when you're scanning, sometimes the glare might affect the scan. Also, one of the things I noticed too is when you're scanning the room to get the choices, sometimes if another student is blocking the way of somebody else's card, it might not scan properly either, so you just want to make sure that no one's blocking. Also, scanning, you want to make sure the phone or the device you're using is in the portrait position and not landscape. I have used it in the landscape, and at times it makes errors, so try the portrait position. I would stick with that. Also, I would recommend for younger students, maybe kindergarten, first grade, which they would love this, Plickers, they would love to use it in the classroom too. I would recommend maybe on the back of the card making an arrow so that those students know how to turn it properly. That might just be a little extra tip that would help them. But it is pretty simple. You're assigning student numbers to each kid, and their cards have an A, B, C, and D on them. And basically when they turn the card, the answer, so if they think that the answer to the question is A, that answer, they just want to turn their card so that answer A is on the top. So maybe for the younger children, just adding an arrow to help them when they turn might help. The only bugaboo that I've felt in my classroom is obviously the Wi-Fi connection. Sometimes when I scan and the kids are ready and myself, we're ready to see the live results on the smart board, sometimes it takes a few minutes to register those results. So the kids are anxious and they're excited, and they'll tell you, oh, it's not showing my vote yet, it's not showing my answer yet. So it might take a minute just because of the Wi-Fi connection, but that's okay. They still show up eventually, and then you can see your data and they can see it live and they're excited. But basically, I love Plickers. I am so glad that my administrator told me about it. And I highly recommend it, and the pros totally outweigh the cons. So I hope you enjoy it too.